for joint systems in Lima, funding for them?
Right now, things look better there. Yeah, and again, I have no trouble making the argument. The Army uses tanks. You know, you think about the Army, we've always had tanks in the Army, and suddenly we're going to stop production of tanks. Yeah. Is that really smart?
Yeah.
You know, so I have no trouble making the case when you're fighting. You know, this whole debate about things in your district and everything else, it's like it has to have a national focus. If it has a national, if it's important in a national federal sense, then make the case for it. I think very easily make the case, because I believe it, tanks are important for the country. They're not just important for Lima, Ohio, because there's 1,000 jobs. Or, you know. When Governor Romney decided he was going to select Congressman Ryan, Paul has been one of maybe, I think he is, our best, most articulate and eloquent spokesperson on how serious the fiscal situation is and that we have to make changes. And so by picking him, the whole idea that we have to change Medicare to save it, which is true. We have to change our overall spending at the federal government to keep us from going bankrupt, completely true. Now that is front and center, and what this gives you is the ability to establish a contract with the people, because this is now part of the campaign. You're laying I always tell folks, you're laying the predicate for what needs to be done, and so if in fact you win, you've got this contract and this mandate from the American people to actually do it. So I thought it was a great pick. I was actually for Ryan a long time ago because of this very reason. So much of this election is a referendum on the president, which is always the way it is when you got an incumbent president running for a second term. But if it's just that and not on substantive issues that you'll do if you're given the ability to govern, then you don't have that mandate. So by the fact he picked Ryan, it's now become an election about both things, which is what I always hoped it would be. It's an election about President Obama has done a bad job, we need to get rid of him. Paul Ryan has made the case, I think, effectively and articulately over the years on what needs to happen fiscally for us to save the country from going bankrupt. That's now front and center in the campaign as well. And that's why so many of us on the conservative side like to pick and think it'll help us.